Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of A Shot of Vodcast.
Today we're talking about media affecting the rape culture. In our previous episode, we touched upon how some cases of rape threats were depicted in the media. But we have a question. Has media played a role in normalizing rape culture? And if so, how did the media manage to do it?
Well, it is no surprise that Bollywood movies have thoroughly disregarded the notion of consent. For the longest time, Bollywood has avoided showing any real candid representations of sex and instead managed to sell assault and violence as romantic entertainment. Songs like Bidi Jalaile and Namak Ishqa are classic examples of how double entendres substitute sexuality in Bollywood movies. And yet, the concept of Jism Ki Garmi exists, where a protagonist rapes a sick woman because apparently the only way to save her life is by giving her bodily heat.
Hold on, how's that even legal?
जब तन से तन मिले हैं तो मन से मन और आत्मा से आत्मा भी मिलेंगे.
Yeah, exactly. If that sounds too gross, imagine movies reinforcing the idea of women being responsible for their own rape.
लड़के का भी गलती होता है इसमें. एक लड़के की अकेले की गलती नहीं हो सकती.
Sounds like something that stayed in people's minds for long.
Surely. And if that sounds too disgusting, imagine movies reinforcing the idea that marrying your rapist is the best possible solution to rape.
What? Why? Because you're carrying the rapist's child? Is that it? Hideous.
औरत की इज्जत पर अगर एक बार दाग लग जाए तो वो कभी नहीं धुल सकता. धुल सकता है सावित्री माँ, धुल सकता है अगर दाग लगाने वाला खुद सिंदूर लगा दे.
Countless movies have shown such disturbing ideas and they have all inevitably contributed to normalizing rape culture.
So is Bollywood seriously insinuating such ideas, or is Bollywood merely a mirror that reflects our society?
Throughout history, Bollywood has produced classics that are unabashedly escapist. Like Javed Akhtar says in a TEDx talk, the reason Bollywood worked ever since its inception is because the masses would fantasize without being able to visualize. And Bollywood provided the visual outlet to our imagination.
But while Bollywood is still a major influence in Indian society, it is also its reflection, albeit an exaggerated reflection. When films such as Kisan Kanya and Mother India were made in the 30s to raise social issues, they weren't received half as well as so-called romantic melodramas.
You mean the movies that suggested stalking, eve-teasing and name-calling are all expressions of love?
Pretty much. Movies throughout the 70s were made to appeal to audiences belonging to small towns and rural sectors. And so the cultural foundation of all these movies were conservative opinions. The very same opinions that belittled the role of a woman in society, restricted her to household chores, saw her as a liability and objectified her to no end. All that simply because at the time there was more money to be made with content that rural audiences would appreciate.
And as time progressed and the film industry shifted its focus to metropolitan audiences with the surfacing of multiplexes on the horizon, the protagonist got richer, the setting got more sophisticated, and the language became more hip. But the storylines and the core values remained the same. The relationship between Bollywood and Indian society has always been a give and take kind of a relationship in terms of influence. But womanhood has invariably been caught in the crossfire.
Sandeep Reddy Vanga, the director of Arjun Reddy and Kabir Singh, acknowledges this fact when he tells Anupama Chopra in an interview that cinema starts with reflecting society and then visually depicting its fantasies. Sometimes the movie gets it right, and other times they influence people to believe that the movie is right. And in the very same interview, he says, if you can't slap, if you can't touch a woman wherever you want, if you can't kiss, I don't see the emotion there. Isn't that ridiculous?
If you can't slap, if you can't touch your woman wherever you want, and if you can't slap, you can't kiss, you can't use cuss words, I don't see emotion there.
I mean, in the wake of the brutal rape and murder of the veterinarian in Hyderabad that shook the nation in 2019, filmmaker Daniel Shravan tweeted, "Rape is not a serious thing, but murder is inexcusable. Avoid killing after rape. Women should carry condoms and cooperate in rape."
I can't believe he really said that.
Such thoughts reflect in their movies too. And the audience consumes this content and is influenced by it. That sounds extremely dangerous, doesn't it, for society?
Oh, remember that time, that incident when Salman Khan, while promoting his film Sultan, described his exhaustion from a physically demanding shooting sequence by saying, "When I used to walk out of the ring after the shoot, I used to feel like a raped woman. I couldn't walk straight."
That was just extremely insensitive.
And this just brings us back to the point we made in our previous video. It is extremely disturbing to hear societal icons use the word rape so casually.
Yeah, and the response this was met with from his colleagues wasn't reassuring either. Amir Khan called this statement unfortunate and said, "Who am I to give advice?" Shah Rukh Khan said, "I don't think I can make any comments on this. I am so inappropriate myself." Sonakshi Sinha said it should be put aside and the real issue should be addressed. Priyanka Chopra Jonas went along the exact same lines, saying, "I don't want to add to the noise. I would rather bring notice on real issues," as if this isn't a real issue.
It's so ironic that all these stars invariably come out and support NGOs, causes, brands, and edutainment programs that work towards protection of women and children. But apparently, someone using an analogy as gross as this does not bother their conscience.
Basically, most of the film fraternity refrained from condemning Salman and instead suggesting that it was not intentional. But what we need to understand as a society is that we cannot let statements like this slide, because they all add to the normalization of rape culture, especially when one of the biggest stars in Bollywood utters these words.
Imagine the influence they have on society with their wide and diverse fan following. They certainly should prioritize upholding their moral responsibilities when they know they affect so many people. Another such blunder was made during a popular roundtable in 2018 by Rani Mukherjee, who commented that the onus to stay safe from sexual harassment is on women themselves, and even young girls should be taught self-defense and martial arts. Rani continued to state that mothers cannot be taught how to raise their children, and it is the responsibility of women to protect themselves. It is rather outrageous to see Bollywood stars completely disregard teaching people the concept of consent, boundaries, and personal space, and instead, like traditional thinking dictates, hold the woman responsible for any sexual violence committed against her.
We have two main messages today. One, to the film fraternity: please focus more on your moral responsibility. While it may be true that you are a business, profit cannot possibly take precedence over the safety of women in this country. And while it may be true that you are reflecting society, please understand that you are also influencing it. Actors such as Parvati Tiruvottu have already taken a very strong stand against working in movies that glorify patriarchy. But we need everyone, right from the writer that conceives the story down to the director, actors, and production houses, to be careful not to insinuate through their movies or otherwise that it is okay to normalize rape culture.
And to all of us, let's not blindly follow those that we idolize. Not everything we see on screen is good, not everything we hear in a movie is true, and not everything we are entertained by has to be acted upon. Not supporting content like this breaks the supply chain. If there are no buyers for content that glorifies rape culture, there will be no makers of such content. We have no space for a century-old social problem in 2020. Let's all be responsible and help stop the normalization of rape culture through media.
Thank you so much for watching. We will be back with another video on another very pertinent issue in our country.
Go follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook to never miss an update. And if you liked this video and would love to listen to our take on several other social issues, subscribe to Aur Bata YouTube channel for a lot more shots of podcast.
And we're gonna see you in the next video.